This is presentation one. There will be a second one later on called The Purpose of Education. Mr. DeMar Justin Lamar Craddock, a sophomore at Morehouse College. Come on, make some noise for Morehouse. Miss Catherine Corrie Harper, a senior at Spelman College. Come on, make some noise for Spelman. And Mr. Anthony Plates Rivas, 12th grade, Central Gwinnett High School. Following their presentation will be a musical performance, a spiritual medley by Dr. Uzi Brown. It will be Thank You, Jesus. You've brought me from a mighty long way. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, a freedom song from the civil rights movement. And Every Time I Feel the Spirit. Let us see the youth presentation now.
As I engage in the so-called bull sessions around and about the school, I too find that most college men have a misconception of the purpose of education.
Education.
Most of the brethren think that education should equip them with the proper instruments of exploitation so that they can forever trample over the Still, others think education should furnish them with noble ends rather than means to an end. It seems to me that education has a twofold function to perform in the life of man and in society. The one is utility. The other is culture. Education must enable a man to become more efficient, to think incisively, and to think of one's character. Education must train one for quick, resolute, and effective thinking. To think incisively and to think of oneself is very difficult. We are prone to let our mental life become invaded by legions of half-truths, prejudices, and propaganda. At this point,
I often wonder whether or not education is fulfilling its purpose. A great majority of these so-called educated people do not think logically and scientifically. Even the press, the classroom, the platform, and the pulpit, in many instances, do not give us objective and unbiased truths. To save man from the morass of propaganda, in my opinion, is one of the chief aims of education. Education must enable one to sift and weigh evidence. To discern the true from the false, the real from the unreal, and the facts from the fiction. The function of education, therefore, is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. But education, which stops with efficiency, may prove the greatest menace to society.
The most dangerous criminal may be the man gifted with reason but with no moral. The late Eugene Talmadge, in my opinion, had one of the better minds of Georgia, or even America. Moreover, he wore the Phi Beta Kappa key. By all measuring rods, Mr. Talmadge could think critically and intensively, yet he contends that I am an inferior being. Are those the types of men we call educated? We must remember intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. The complete education gives one not only power of concentration, but worthy objectives upon which to concentrate.
The broad education will, therefore, transmit one not only to the accumulated experience of the race, but the accumulated experience of social living. If we are not careful, our colleges will produce a group of closed-minded, unscientific, illogical propagandists consumed with immoral facts. Be careful, brethren. Be careful, teachers.